It's a beautiful Sunday evening here in Baton Rouge, and welcome back to Solomon's Vineyard. I'm Russell Mack, and it's Old School Sunday, and this is the 9th episode. Y'all, I have been enjoying going back, looking at some of these classic, nostalgic fragrances, and today it's no exception. We're going all the way back to the 20s. Okay, so I've gotten me a little rest today. I'm relaxed. I'm feeling really, really good. I'm lounging around the hotel room. So would you stick around with me? And we're going to talk about a fragrance, really nice fragrance. I'm trying not to hold you that long, but I hope you enjoy episode 9. Old School Sunday is on the air. Let's go, fam.
All right. Okay.
And we are back. Welcome back to Old School Sunday. I'm glad you decided to stop by and check out the fragrance I'll be talking about today. If you are new to the channel and this is your very first time, I would love if you would subscribe, hit the notification bell. I want you to like or thumbs up, dislike, share, or comment down in the comment thread, okay? Your scent of the day would be appropriate. I would love to know what you're rocking. If you are familiar with the fragrance I'm talking about, if you know about it, love your input. Just put it down in the comment thread below. You can also check me out on Facebook, where I share fragrance posts. I'm in some of the groups there. I do word of the day sometimes, pictures, family pictures, whole lot of stuff. So if you want to connect with me, those are the ways, as of right now, that you can connect with me, okay? Listen, glad you stopped by. I hope all is well with you out there in internet land. All of my YouTubers, all of my subscribers, and your families, your wives and children. I know y'all have lives too, and we need to care about that and pray for you guys, and just to let you know that you're on our mind. It makes a big difference, I know it does for me. When somebody tells me they're thinking about me, that really helps. It really encourages, So let's get out of that and let's get on into the fragrance. Today we're talking about a fragrance from the House of Guerlain, 1921 and 25. Okay, I'll explain that to you in a minute. But let's take a look at the presentation. I don't have the box, but I do have the bottle. And this fragrance is Shalimar by Guerlain. See that? This top fits very tight. All right. The olfactory family that this fragrance belongs to it's an ambery, spicy fragrance. It has a lot of notes. It's a really, really elegant fragrance. You can tell once, we talk about the smell of it. I love the presentation, though. I like this cap, and I'll explain to you what it is. I love the way the bottle looks really, really nice. That's the front and back of the bottle. This is the sides of the bottle, okay? You have your batch code there, and this is classified as an eau de cologne. They do have a eau de parfum, a concentrate online, okay? There's several, okay? But this is all I needed for this preview, okay? I've already sprayed over here on this wrist. Now let me just spray again to remind me of the opening. An ambery spicy. This fragrance is extremely spicy, okay? While that dries down, let's take a look at some common known facts about this fragrance, okay? Talia was so gracious to look up some information. First, the question I ask you first is, what was the bottle? Who created the bottle, and what was it inspired by?
Raymond Guerlain designed the bottle for Shalimar.
So Raymond Guerlain, ladies and gentlemen, designed the bottle for Shalimar. So this beautiful bottle, and back in those times, back in the 20s, this was big. This was a big deal, all right? I believe that this right here was inspired, and she'll tell you that, but this was inspired by some silverware This cap was inspired by some silverware that the Guerlains used, okay? All right. So I would say would be the top of a spoon or a fork. You know, y'all know how they handle, should I say. All right. What else?
which was modeled after the basins of Eastern gardens and Mongolian stupa art.
Yeah, a stupa. Yeah, okay.
Shalimar's blue fan-shaped bottle topper was inspired by a piece of silverware owned by the Guerlain family.
See, we just told you about that. All right, now who was the scent, the fragrance itself inspired by?
It was inspired by Jacques Guerlain.
Okay, so what he's the nose behind it. He's the nose. Jacques himself, Guerlain, is the nose behind this fragrance. And who inspired it? Who was the young lady that inspired it?
Jacques Guerlain was inspired by Mumtaz Mahal.
Okay, Mumtaz Mahal. All right, she's the wife of keep reading.
The wife of Shah Jahan.
Shah Jahan. So he was a Shah in India. All right, give me a
That's
little bit
the
more.
Mughal of the Emperor of India.
He's a Mughal, or should I say, the Emperor of India at that time. Okay. All right. What else we
And
got?
for whom the Taj Mahal and Agra.
The Taj Mahal in Agra. So if you've ever heard of the Taj Mahal, this fragrance has a connection to it through this Shah and his wife. This is what inspired Jacques Guerlain to create this beautiful scent. All right, go ahead.
And the Shalimar Gardens in Lahore.
So this was inspired by the Shalimar Gardens in Lahore. Now listen, thank you, Talia, for reading that for us. I appreciate it. Y'all, she's great to have around. Anyway, when I spray this fragrance, okay, you get a very loud ambery smell, okay? Spicy, really, really spicy, ambery. It got civet in it, so it's kind of skanky also. What I'll do is post the notes, as I always do, the year this fragrance came out and the nose, okay? And we'll talk about a few of the notes, and then I'll let you guys go. All right, now, the opening of the fragrance starts with, come on, Talia, read for me the top notes first.
Citruses,
Bergamot,
lemon, cedar,
mm-hmm.
and mandarin orange.
Okay, so when this fragrance opened, that's what they say that's there. The citruses, the lemon, the bergamot, and so which gives it some freshness. Now, this is what I'm believing. The cedar that's in the very top with those citruses, the bergamot and lemon, it balances out some of that tartness and sweetness you would get from the citrus and lemon. Now, we know that lemon and citrus evaporates really, really quick. So you're catching that cedar. A lot of cedar at the very top. All right, let's get into the heart.
Heart, iris, patchouli,
Yes.
vetiver, jasmine, and rose.
Okay. All right. As the citruses and the lemon, the bergamot, all of that dries up, and as the fragrance begin to blossom and open up, that is what you get. You get a strong, a powerful scent and smell of jasmine and rose. Strong, really powdery. Did you say iris?
Yes.
So between the iris, the jasmine note, the rose note, you get a lot of it. It's very, very powdery. Powdery, vanillic, amberish with spices. Okay, that's what you get in the heart. You get the earthiness of the vetiver and the skankiness of the civet. And back in those times, civet was very popular. Civet, musk, and they used natural civet in those times, and natural musk, deer musk in those times. Now, we don't get a lot of natural musk and civet now, okay? But we did back in those times, in vintage fragrances like this, back in the 20s, 1921 and 1925. And what I failed to mention is that this fragrance, just for the name of this fragrance, they had to, it was an illegal battle. Okay, the law ended up having to go to court to use this name because they said another company said that Guerlain stole the name. So we're talking trademark infringement and all of those legal terms that we don't need to really discuss, but you guys know what I mean. But Guerlain ultimately won the suit, and it was settled, and in 1925, Shalimar was released, okay? Now, back to the scent. Powdery, spicy, it has an automaticness to it. Now, give me the base.
Base, incense,
Incense.
vanilla,
Yeah.
leather, a Papanax,
Papanax.
sandalwood,
Civet.
tonka bean, and musk.
And musk. So in those times, this would have been a very elegant, sexy, alluring fragrance. It would have been a must-have. Only the well-to-do in those times would have had it. Those rich people with money, upscale, would have worn this fragrance, okay? You got a lot of vanilla, leather, the civet, as I said, the creaminess from the sandalwood. This is not a linear fragrance. This thing does about 3 to 4 changes. You get a leather at the base along with that sandalwood. You still, now listen, I have the dry down over here, and I've had this on now for about 2 hours. Right now, I'm smelling the civet, the leather, and a lot of vanilla and woody elements, that cedar, okay? That's what it basically dries down to. Really, really nice. To say we're in 2021, this is a gorgeous smelling fragrance. Though vintage, though nostalgic, came out a long time ago, 1920. Come on, that's, Lord, I don't even want to count the years, okay? But I'm glad that I was able to purchase and find this bottle. I paid $21 for this fragrance. I found this in Walgreens, so don't sleep on Walgreens. We know that most drugstores have overpriced fragrances, but sometimes, not all, you can find some really nice bargains in drugstores. At Walgreens, where I found this. Plus, I had a bunch of discounts that I could use. So I'm glad that I was able to find it and pick it up, okay? Just like that Hugo Boss #1. That was, although it was given to me, I found that too, you know. So I'm enjoying finding these rare fragrances, these gems, fragrances, these vintage bottles, these old school smelling fragrances. You know, considering the way that they smell, and though this is probably, I know this is not an old formulation, it's probably a newer formulation, they hit it. They give you a close reminder of what the fragrances of those times smelled like. So really nice, y'all. It has all of the notes I would have expected it to have from the 1920s. Civet, I'm not surprised to hear that name. Leather is there. And the leather is really, really nuanced. It's not a really loud leather. You know it's there, though. But the civet, mainly, you're getting the aromaticness from the civet, the cedar, the sandalwood with the vanilla, that rose and iris and jasmine, giving it the powderiness. No citruses around this time in the dry down. That's all you mainly get. Really, really woody and amberish. They call it amberish because it's so thick. Okay, it has a medicinal quality to it when you first spray it. See, now on this wrist, where I just sprayed it, it's kind of quieting it down a little bit. Now you're getting a lot of the woody elements as it transitions into the heart, okay? Real nice, y'all. Shalimar by Guerlain. Many of you already know about this fragrance. Real popular at that, you know, and from the house. It's their flagship fragrance. I love it. I love it. I'm glad I have it in my collection, okay? So that's it, you guys. Shalimar by Guerlain. I enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed talking about this fragrance. Checked out this video. Thumbs up, like it. You can comment. Feel free. Okay, I'd love to hear from you. I understand fragrances are subjective, so I know that everybody won't like this fragrance, won't care for it. I get that, okay? So I love your comments, though. I love your input, all right? So I'm getting out of here, you guys. It's been edition 9 of Old School Sunday. I'm yours truly, Russell Mack. I'll see you soon for another fragrance preview. Peace, family.
Alright.